Hello, everyone, and welcome to this evening's beer review, which I am dubbing I think I have sciatica beer review. My back slash hip, left side, just absolutely killing me right now. So who knows? Maybe a little beer will help, but probably not. So I got myself some comfort food, got my donuts. I got my round table pizza complete with the anchovies. As you know, I love anchovies. And what will we be reviewing tonight, folks? Well, got something I reviewed quite a few years back. I don't remember it, and I haven't really drank it since I've reviewed it. Why haven't I drank it since I reviewed it? Well, it's a double IPA. You know, I generally don't drink IPAs for pleasure now. I drink them for reviews, and there are so many to review. There's an irony there of reviewing beers that I don't particularly go for anymore, but I have a sense of what constitutes quality and what doesn't. So, anyways, let's take a look on the back here. Brew date is 12/21/21, so this is almost exactly 6 months old. I'm not going to go and reiterate the my little spiel about hop freshness. You guys have already heard it enough from me. But you can already assume from the dating here that that's going to have an impact on this particular beer. Now, this is 8.0 ABV, so definitely a double IPA. I haven't had anything to eat yet, so it's probably going to go straight to my head. So, without much further ado, let's just get straight into this. At this point, a professional YouTuber would cut and then do another straight take. I do not cut unless like a gigantic booger comes out of my nose or I suddenly shit myself on camera or, accidents along those lines. So, let's get to it. Like I said, I don't remember anything about this beer. Okay. Poured out perfectly there. 2 fingers worth ahead. And an opalescent yellow-orange, nicely carbonated, with a thick, fluffy, white to off-white head. That is redolent. Well, this one's still got quite a few hops in the nose here. You got grapefruit, pine needle, citrus zest, and maybe just a hint of dank. But mostly pine needle and grapefruit. Definitely edging more towards the pine needle. So very classic West Coast style hop smells. Onto the palate now, shall we? Very hop forward. There's a hop bitterness, strong hop bitterness up front, but it doesn't quite last into the finish. Well, it does go into the finish, but there's no long finish there. Definitely quite a bit of residual sugars, as the malts are biscuity. With a slight hint of caramelization. Right now, as it's cold, I didn't let this warm up a bit. Um, it's balanced, but I can tell that it's going to become on the cloying side as it warms up a bit. Definitely feels about right in regards to ABV at 8.0. Hop bitterness. It doesn't have much dimensionality on the palate. Definitely that sort of pine resin. Not much in the way of citrus zest. Yeah, definitely pine resin. And interestingly, the effervescent top note is much more of the malts, which don't really appear in the initial nosing, but you definitely get those biscuity malts in the top note. Yeah. Mm. Definitely not much in the way to write home about. In regards, while there's taste there's nothing particularly exciting or stands out about it. It's a double IPA in the classic West Coast style. The flavors aren't particularly bright or stand out. If you like your hop bitterness, we'll definitely go and slap you upside the head with that. If you like your high ABV, it'll 100% go and slap you upside the head with that. I should go and mention why this is called a hop bullet. Basically, Sierra Nevada has this patented device that they insert when they're doing their brews, their brewing process, um, that basically does something to go and intensify certain aspects of the hop flavor. And there's definitely quite a bit of that lupulin bitterness going on here. That's your jam. Go for it, I suppose. Um, I'd like something a little bit more. Let's go and see if I can find out what kind of hops are used in this really quickly here. Magnum hops and lupulin dust. So yeah, basically a whole bunch of bitterness. And I'm guessing for some reason this is one of those beers that go and trigger that sort of, allergic response in me. Right now my nose is starting to, you can see, starting to run, and I'm starting to feel the intense urge to sneeze. Wouldn't developing an allergy to very hoppy beers be something of a drawback for a beer reviewer, don't you think? Well, someone who mostly reviews beers. Just a moment. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and my face is turning bright red. It really is interesting. As you notice, this doesn't happen with all beers or even all hoppy beers for me. I'm wondering if it's like some aspects of the the hopping process, or particular types of hops that are being used that cause this. Because it doesn't happen with all beers; it just happens with certain very hoppy beers, and it's actually really curious to me. Well, at this point, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this beer much further justice, considering I'm starting to stuff up in my faces, like, you know. And yeah, it's just funny to me that not all IPAs do this to me, but it's something that many IPAs do to me, which is I have that sort of allergic response. Everything kind of swells up and I get a runny nose. So, Sierra Nevada Hot Bullet Double IPA. If you're one of those people who loves craft beers for intense hop bitterness and high ABVs, this is right up your alley. This is probably why this is one of Sierra Nevada's best sellers. That is not what I am looking for in a beer right now. I'm not looking to go and get ass blasted by hot bitterness or by high ABVs. And I'm especially not looking forward to getting this kind of histamine response from a beer. But that's a personal thing on my part. I know a lot of craft beer drinkers are chasing after that hot bitterness and high ABV. Go and try this if you haven't. I'm pretty sure you've already have. If you're like me, you're looking for something lighter bodied and with more sharp, impressive flavor notes. Yeah, this is not going to be your cup of tea. And that, folks, is your beer review, excuse me, for this evening. Excuse me. Cheers.